Hello, and welcome to Module 8 that is part 1 of a trilogy called Shudda, Wudda, Cudda. In Module 7, we introduced the importance of using the active voice in our requirements. The active voice helps us to be clear and direct and capture good functional requirements stating what the system needs to do. You only learn by doing, so we encourage all you somewhat more passive viewers of Requirements 101 to become active learners. As Benjamin Franklin wisely said, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn." Such wisdom, no wonder he ended up on the $100 bill. Let's get stuck into Module 8 with a quick question. Which one of these statements is a valid requirement? Those of you that answered "it depends" selected the correct answer. When writing high-quality requirements, we have to be consistent with the terms and language that we use. And there is no term more important than the imperative, the verb that denotes the presence of a requirement. Although both statements 1 and 2 are saying essentially the same thing, one is a contractually binding requirement. The other would require lawyers to get involved. It all depends on what the document or project has defined as the language that it will use to denote the requirement. We lifted this requirement from an 86-page Basis for Design document that used the word shall 192 times and the word must 13 times. In all 13 cases, that word must had been used incorrectly. They should have used the verb shall according to the style rules of the project. Here's an interesting graphic from Google's Ngram showing the usage of the word shall and must in the English written language. In 1820, it looks like we reached peak shall. After that, the term has become less and less popular and has been replaced by the word must in popularity. In fact, in an effort to make legal documents easier to understand, the word must has replaced shall in contractual documents. However, for all you technical writers out there, shall is the term we use in our industry and practically every other industry to denote a requirement, a contractual obligation. Please, unless you are a lawyer, don't suddenly start using the word must in an effort to be more modern. Don't do it. Mixing up shalls and musts also risks scope being missed. Contractors and suppliers are using Control F to scan the massive volume of documents they receive to extract the requirements that they are looking for. They're looking for shall statements, not must statements. A short word on the use of will. Let's first take a look at an example. The new generator will be used to power the HVAC system. In this statement, will denotes the new generator's future purpose. It is not a design requirement. It is a statement of fact. Too often, we come across statements intended to be requirements where the verb will has been used instead of shall. Used correctly, the requirements look something like this. So remember, will statements are not requirements. They are statements of fact. A question for you to answer. Your company delivers liquid nitrogen, LIN. You received a specification from a customer. Which statement of fact is in fact a hidden requirement? We guess it is item B, but why hide our requirements? Let's try to make life easier for our readers so they are not relying on guesswork. One golden tip and best practice from a Nobel laureate. In his must-read book called Thinking Fast and Slow, Professor Daniel Kahneman demonstrates that it's not just about what you write, it's about how you write it. Using bold fonts make key words stand out and reduce the cognitive burden on the reader. It makes it easier for them to absorb the information. NASA has incorporated this into their technical standards by putting shall in a bold font, as shown here. We've started using this on a few projects, and it is so simple, yet so effective. It will also help you identify the misused wills and musts. That's it for now. A quick recap. The verb shall denotes a requirement. Avoid confusing it with wills and musts. If the style guide you are using allows it, then make the requirements stand out by using the bold font on the word shall. In Part 2, we will turn our attentions to recommendations and options. So look out for Module 8, Part 2. In the meantime, we recommend to those of you that have access to some recent requirements to have a search for misused wills and musts. How many do you come across? And are they hidden requirements?